Welcome to Parenting Tips with Dr. Glow on the WDKX Podcast Network, where the conversation never ends. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that is dear to my heart. Um, education is in my DNA, and I'm always seeking more information, more knowledge to not just educate others, but to educate myself. I am a scholar, I am a researcher, I'm a person that enjoys learning. And it's not always the easiest journey, but it is a journey that I enjoy. So we all know that our upbringing does shape our lives, right? And what happens during our childhood and our upbringing plays a key role in what happens when we become adults. There has been research related to the importance of a father in the lives of their children and also a father figure if a father is not present most of the time for your children. So, fathers and mothers, I want you to kind of lean in and understand that it is a tough thing for children to not have their actual birth father in their lives. We've seen stories with folks who have been adopted and how they will make an attempt to reach out to a biological father. Well, at the in my early 40s, I had the chance to meet my father for the first time. I've talked about this before. I won't go into the details of what happened, but definitely, as I tell people many times, it was an experience that I'm glad I had. Children raised without their parents is a challenge, especially if they're in a foster program. But let's say you're the single mother and your child is without a father or a father figure, as my mother was growing up. There's research out there that talks about the negative things and the bad things that happen. So I'm going to put a different spin on this today, and I'm going to talk about the good things that develop in us, and I'm one of the us, are those of us who've had father figures. I have had over my lifetime 4 father figures, and I value the fact that they were in my life at different stages. One was in my life to co-sign for a car. Yeah, I had no credit. My mom's credit wasn't the best, and he's co-signed for a loan. I had another father figure who was there at different events during my life to celebrate me. I had my grandfather who was there on the spiritual side of things because he was a minister. And then I had a father figure who was who can I well, how can I say this? He was that person that I could call and get some advice and insight on different things. So all 4 of them were in my life at different stages. And what I realized is that there were 4 big things that happened as a result of them being in my life. I learned independence. They shared with me the value of having my own, not just depending on them, not just depending on my mother, and not depending on others to be able to finish high school, to finish college, to go on into a career where you didn't have to depend on social services or any other social agencies to support you. Yeah, my first 20 something years, I did have to get support, but after college, things did look up. I learned the importance of having a savings account, the importance of having money for a rainy day, the importance of delayed gratification, not getting something now because I want it. Do I really need it right now? So independence was one thing that I learned from those four father figures, again, in different stages of my life. One of the things that I also learned is that I was enough. I didn't have to look for acceptance from a boyfriend. I didn't have to look for acceptance from a girlfriend. I didn't have to look for acceptance from anybody because I accepted who I was, the color of my skin, the the nose that I have, the hair I have. 'Cause I used to wear this big afro when I was in my teens and 20s. I celebrated the fact that I was Black, and I'm proud. I didn't have to look for someone else to confirm me. I also learned the value of my spiritual relationship with God, and in doing that, not being ashamed of that and sharing my faith with others. Our children need to accept themselves, whether it's the ears, whether it's the nose, whether it's the lips, whether it's the hips, whether it's the hair, whatever it is, they have to accept themselves. And these gentlemen were instrumental in instilling so much about that in me. The third thing that I value so much is my ability to develop relationships with others. Because I developed relationships with them, and I thank God that they were healthy relationships, all was on the up and up. There was positivity in going places and doing things with them at a variety of times and for a variety of events. My mother, most of all, trusted these individuals. And so I was not afraid to express my caring spirit with others. And eventually, with friends who were males, and eventually with my husband, who was a boyfriend, and then he became a husband. But relationships are important. Doesn't always have to be romantic, okay? Romance is valuable. We just celebrated Valentine's Day, but you can have intimacy with your BFF who may be of the same sex. You may have intimacy with those who are in your family. You're able, and I call intimacy where you're really able to take down the mask and really expose who you are to others and feel safe with that. Our children deserve safety in their relationships with others. I can trust you. I can have confidence that what I say to you will not be all over social media and everybody in town or in the family will know what is going on in my life. That is valuable. And the last and fourth thing that I want to talk about is the ability to have an internal or innate strength and resilience. I many times refer to the word courage. Courage is the ability to do something even when there's fear. And so I use that word a lot to motivate others, but also to motivate myself. I may have fear about something, but I won't allow the fear to overcome me. And I'm going to use my courage that will give me strength to do that very thing that I need to do. It was a difficult thing to make a decision that the marriage was a challenge. I had to have strength to go ahead and do counseling. I had to have strength to have a conversation with my then husband. I talk about this openly because many times we will resist and think we're weak, but listen, we are strong. We have the ability to be resilient. I can get through this. This is hurting me right now. I've got tears right now, But on the other side of this is that, and that is positivity, joy, and a whole level of happiness. Resilience, even during illness, knowing that I'm going to get through this, you're going to get through this. Our children have to understand the game didn't go well. I didn't play that well. But do they have the strength? Do they have the courage to show up at the next game? Do they have the resilience to not let yesterday cause them to not enter tomorrow? We as parents are always challenged with different things. And think about your child. He or she is challenged as well. If there is a father that is absent, make every effort, mom, grandmom, auntie, to have a father figure in your child's life. Big Brothers, Big Sisters is a program that I value and I support, and I would encourage you to consider that program if there's not someone who is immediately connected to you and your child. So, life happens. We have different challenges in our lives every day, but we have to understand resilience, a level of independence, a level of being able to, how can I say it, um, be accepted, and definitely understanding the value of intimate relationships. Those four things in adulthood, I can't tell you how valuable they will be for your child. You have been listening to Parenting Tips with Dr. Glow on the WDKX podcast network, where the conversation never ends. Question: which one of these four values or jewels do you see in yourself and you would like to see in your child when they become an adult?